What's up, guys? I'm making another video here, and yeah, I don't know. I just had, again, I have some kind of interesting feelings to be putting into words. I'm having a hard time putting them into words, but yeah, I'm just gonna try basically. Um, Today was a really great day, and it's been really great lately. It's been a really great 2 days, and it's been kind of emotional in a way, in a good way. I've felt some deep emotions here and there. I've just felt some really, I guess, deep emotions, and I've been out riding my bike to start the day, 3 days in a row, really early, and it's been nice and just exciting, and trying to put something into words, you guys, that's kind of difficult to put into words. There's been a lot of things I've felt lately that have been hard to put into words, but they're really good, and I'm really thankful for them. And again, I am reminded that these are really great parts of me that, regardless of how something or even maybe someone made me feel, I have so much to offer. I have, so many good things going on, and I don't need anything or anyone to tell me or try to make me feel like, something about me is wrong or I'm a loser or something like that, because that is straight up, it's just a load of crap, basically. But anyway, there's this really good movie called Boyhood. I recommend it. It's got some intense scenes in it, and it's been a long, hot minute since I've seen this movie, and I watched it at a really important part of my life. I watched it the first time right after I ended things with my wife, and I lived in my own apartment, and I was thousands of miles away from home, living in Nevada, and not really sure what was going on with my life, not really sure where I was going. Just kind of like, dude, I was at ground zero. I detonated my life, basically, and now I'm sitting here at ground zero trying to figure out what to do, what's the next part, And I wasn't necessarily in a hurry to run and figure things out. I was just kind of living, And anyway, this movie Boyhood it's a really good movie, and it covers this boy's life from the ages of like 7 all the way up to like 18. And the cool part is it's filmed over the course of those years, and it uses the same actors. So when you see the boy when he's younger, it's actually him, and then later it's actually him when he's older. But it's a really good movie, and it's made by one of my favorite directors, Richard Linklater. And yeah, I don't know. I remember at the time hearing a Richard Linklater film, hearing that and being like, wow, that's something special. I know it. I don't know about that. I don't know why it is, but I know it is for some reason. I just knew then for some reason. And years later, when I watched Dazed and Confused, again, in a different part of my life, in a really dazed and confused part of my life, which is another movie by Richard Linklater, I felt such a strong connection to that movie, and it's just been hard to put my finger on. But I like him as a director, and his movies, the ones I've seen, at least those two, those are the two that I can think of that I've watched by him, have really spoken to me. Anyway, Boyhood is a really emotional movie because, it's so relatable. Young Mason, he grows up, and his parents divorce, and he grows up dealing with his mom, a single mom, not dealing with his mom like that, but dealing with his life. And I can relate. And she married a freaking an abusive alcoholic. Well, guess what? My mom did too. And neither of them knew that that's who they were marrying. Neither of them knew that that's what they were doing. That's what happened. And it was hard. And so I really relate to that guy in the movie. And for whatever reason, I grew away from the movie. And I used to have it on Blu-ray. And I have literally gone to don't think I'm crazy here, but I've literally gone to 4 different Dollar Generals tonight trying to find that movie. Because I've seen it in there for like $4 or something on Blu-ray. And I'm like, dog, I need to get that movie. And neither one of them had it. But I've just been watching movies or videos on YouTube that video students have made on Boyhood, and so it's just, I don't know, I'm just really liking film right now, you guys, and I'm excited. I'm going to take a film class in school. I made up my mind I'm going to take a film class. It's going to be so cool. I've got electives, I can use them, I can take it. But yeah, it's just a really interesting story, and it goes into some really deep, these videos I've been watching have been like an introspection or an examination of certain things, and it's just been really interesting. And yeah, I just don't know what to say. I'm super thankful for my life. I'm super thankful for, the things I've been through that have made me who I am. I'm thankful that I can look at my life and look at it and be like, oh, I remember this point. I remember when we went through that. The different points and like growing, and it's really beautiful how things change and how, something was relevant and now it's not, but then it's going to be again. It's really interesting how that works. And I'm thankful for my story. My story is unique, and everyone's story is unique, But I'm just really thankful for it all. And yeah, I've just been feeling some really good things lately. And General Conference was amazing, and I didn't even watch the whole thing or listen to the whole thing. But I got to listen to what I did, the first session yesterday when I was working, and then some of the session this morning, and then I watched the whole second session today, President Nelson, and I have just had this feeling, and I'll share it with you guys now. Yeah, I'm going to try to share this now, you guys, because, like, this is too good not to share, and I feel it's important to share because I feel like if I don't share it, then I don't want it to get lost. You know what I mean? I feel like it's something special and it should be shared, and so I'm going to share it. And so I guess you guys are lucky because you get to hear it. But anyway, I just wanted to share that I know that like some really good things are going to happen, and they are, and they have been happening. And yes, some really horrible things have been happening too, like the hurricane and stuff like that, and a lot of the dissension or division between people because of the political race and the presidential race and stuff. And just life is so hard and things are so hard, and people go through some really serious struggles like all the time, and it just doesn't end. It's horrible, but there are a lot of really good things going on too. And I just want to know, and I just want to share with you guys something I picked up. I've only been a member of the church for 3 years, but today, listening to General Conference was kind of surreal. I'm not going to lie to you guys. When I watched it, I felt... so this happened the first time I listened to it, and this is amazing, and I can't wait to listen to it again. But you guys, this is real. I'm going to share this with you. This isn't the main thing I wanted to say, but this is just something I want to share as well. That's pretty awesome. The first time I listened to the first session the other day, I was shaking, like very, 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 a very fine shake, very like in my core, my heart was shaking. It was like pulsing. It was like very, 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 very fast, very, very faintly, and it was shaking. And I could feel the Spirit working on me. It was amazing. I'm listening to these words, and I hear these words, and yes, these words are words I feel like I've heard before. I feel like this is not too crazy. This is not unfamiliar. I feel like I've been here before. I feel like I've heard this before. But the Spirit's like, yeah, but you didn't feel this before, did you? And I was like, oh shoot, you're right. No, I didn't. And it's like, yeah, that's what I thought, buddy. Here you go. And it just starts to keep on shaking and like vibrating my like chest and heart, basically. And today it happened again when I was watching this session. I got to go over and watch it with my branch president and his family, and our new missionaries. It was just wonderful, wonderful. And I almost didn't. I almost did something different today, but I'm so glad that I decided to do it anyway, go anyway. So glad. But I felt it again, and so there's two things that I noticed. Well, there's a lot of things I noticed, but like two things I noticed, maybe three. And the first one was when I was listening to it, I was like, I was struggling because it gets so comfortable after a while. I don't know if you can relate listening to General Conference. It's so soothing and comforting that sometimes you even want to just fall asleep as you're listening, because you're like, you can only take in so much. Just your brain can only handle so much information. And, you know, some of it is meant for you now and some of it's meant for you later. And, you know, that's why you're supposed to listen to it again, right? And watch it again. And zero in on the talks. But, yeah, so I felt that real soothingness, you know, as I was listening. And shout out to the beautiful scenery here. It's beautiful at night. Really beautiful out here. Beautiful color of the sky, surprisingly. Getting on video, this is wonderful. Tricky time of night to film, but look how great it's coming out. I love it. And so there was that. But then there was also, the other part of it was, even though it was like I was struggling a little bit through it, because I was like, man, I'm kind of feeling like a struggle here. I'm like, oh, I'm getting a little tired. You know, I'm kind of like listening, but I'm like, I'm not trying to say, hurry up, man, I can't wait for this to be over. I'm not trying to say that, but it's like, kind of like, man, you know, I'm listening here. I'm here, you know, I'm doing it. I'm in this, you know. A couple times I just felt like zoning out or like going to lay down, but I couldn't do that. And, but it was so good. But anyway, it kept going, and I was listening to it. The sense that I get from this General Conference, and I think this is because of the way that it works with every year, it gets shorter, because life speeds up the older you get. The faster time flies, the older you get. It's just like how it goes. But I felt that. But when I watched this session of General Conference, it felt like it flew by. And it also felt like I was zooming through it. It also felt like we're watching this and it's like, here we go, though, here we go. We're going right through it. We're going right through it, you know. And then when we got to the end of President Nelson, it was like, wait a minute, it's already time for President Nelson? I was like, wait, I thought they were going to have one more speaker. I thought they'd have one more speaker before him. Nope. Gave him plenty of time. And I don't know if you noticed, guys, but it even ended early. It ended early. Like, you know, not a big deal, like 5 minutes, though. You know, and you know, and it leads up to President Nelson, and we're like excited, and usually he tells the temples first, or tells them last, but he told them first, and we all took a temple guess on how many temples, and more temples were being made than I guessed, and it was super exciting to hear 10 or 17 temples. What? That's super exciting, but it's not really surprising because the world is only so big, and you know, we got to have temples everywhere. We got to have them everywhere, so that's just how it is. We got to have temples so people can get to the temple. That's just how it is. There has to be temples everywhere. That's just the name of the game. There has to be temples everywhere, because if there's not, then how are people going to get to the temple? You got to put a temple everywhere, basically. So it's just a matter of time, you know. And just as populations increase or whatever, the ebbs and flows, the whatevers. But the Lord is hastening His work, just like President Nelson said, and that is a really, really, really good thing. And I don't know, I just want you guys to sit and savor that for a minute, because that is a really, really good thing. The Lord is hastening His work. How much have you waited for things? There's been times where we're just in the desert waiting for things to get better. And you know what? To hear that they are getting better is insane, right? It's just insane. I love it. It's amazing, right? It is amazing. So amazing. And so, yeah, so that's amazing. That's just that. So that's amazing. And, so things are getting better. The Lord's hastening His work. That doesn't just mean that more temples are getting built. It also means that things are increasing. Things are working out for the better. Everything is getting faster. The ability to share the gospel is getting faster. There's going to be more increased opportunities. There's going to be so much more opportunities for things, you know? But I also, when it got to the point when President Nelson was talking, I could feel this feeling. And when he started talking about like the second coming of Jesus Christ, do you guys realize what that means? Like, yes, that means get ready, because that's what we're always supposed to do. We're always supposed to be getting ready for the second coming of Christ, of course. That's absolutely a given. However, did you realize our prophet just got done telling us to prepare for the second coming of Christ? Like, just think about that for a minute. That is not a small deal. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal, you guys. And how much joy does it bring you to think about Jesus Christ coming again? Like for real. Like for real. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I also got the impressions that this will be in our lifetime. It can be in our life. It might be in our lifetime, you guys. We don't know when. But I'm telling you right now, my mom is like in her mid 70s, and I've had a fear in recent years and times about my grandparents dying, and that fear has slowly started to go away, and I now feel like, you know what? I would not be surprised if she was alive when he came again. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. Don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm just telling you guys, now is the time, okay? So, do what you're supposed to do. Anyway, thanks for listening. I gotta go.